My grandparents on my father's side, they were religious. But my father, he was absolutely against religion. My whole Jewish education when I was a child was the picture, the Ten Commandments, with Charlton Heston.
Oh, my goodness. This is The Book of Life, a podcast about Jewish kidlit. I'm Heidi Rabinowitz. Ana María Shua is an award-winning Argentine author who has published over 100 books, including poetry, drama, novels, science fiction, children's literature, film scripts, short stories, and microfiction, or flash fiction. She is one of the foremost writers in Latin America, where she's known as the queen of the micro-story. So obviously she's a really big deal. And yet I was not aware of her until I read her first Jewish children's book, The Passover Pet Surprise, also available in Spanish as La Gran Sorpresa de Pesach. This emotionally realistic picture book, with its joyful candy-colored illustrations by Spanish artist Ángeles Ruiz, is about a little girl who misunderstands the meaning of the Festival of Freedom. Or does she? You can find show notes, a transcript, and bonus content at bookoflifepodcast.substack.com. And if you'd like to hear Ana María Shua's Share Your Shelf segment, click on Upgrade to Paid. Thanks, and happy Passover. Ana María, you have published over 180 books in various genres, but I must admit that until recently I was not familiar with your work. Other than The Passover Pet Surprise, are many of your books available in English?
Yes, but not my children's book. 5 of my novels have been published in English in the United States, published by university presses and small publishers.
I'm glad to have a chance to learn more about your work and introduce it to more English speakers.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about The Passover Pet Surprise and what was the inspiration for this story?
Well, an editor asked me to write a Jewish Latin American story. And I love Pesach. I think Passover is the best of all Jewish holidays because it's not only for Jewish people, it's for the whole world. It's a celebration of freedom for everyone. In this story, there's a little girl. She knows about Passover and freedom, and she decides to open a bird's cage to let the birds be free, 2 little parrots. I thought that could be the center of the story, the core of the story, the structure, and all around this little idea is about how we celebrate Passover in Argentina. The story happens in a city called Mendoza, in the north of Argentina. There's a family who is split apart. Part of the family lives in the United States, in Miami, and the other part lives in Argentina. A lot of the ideas came to my mind because my own family is split apart. On my mother's side, my grandfather came from Poland to Argentina. I'm, half and half, Sephardic and Ashkenazi. His 6 siblings went to the United States, and they had children, and the children grew up, and they had children. So I have a really huge family in the United States. Then, many years after that, when the last terrible and bloody dictatorship took Argentina, my own sister had to escape from our country, and she went to live not far from Chicago, in Evanston, with her husband, who is Argentinian too, and they had children, and the children had children. They come to visit us in Argentina. So it was not difficult for me to think about part of the family in Miami and part in Mendoza. And the family in Miami comes to Mendoza, to Argentina, to spend Passover with the rest of the family. And there comes Jordanita.
So many of the book reviews that I have read say the book explores the meaning of freedom. Jordanita hears the story at the Seder about the importance of freedom, so she frees her aunt's parrots from their cage. And she wants them to be free, but she doesn't understand that releasing pets into the wild might not be safe for them.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the meaning of freedom that you were trying to convey in this story?
That's a difficult question. Are we free after all? Who is really free? But, I'm sure the little parrots will be more free if the cage is open. That is what Jordanita thought about. That's all. After she did it, she is really worried about what could happen to those little parrots because they had lived their lives always in cages. So are they going to be able to find food for themselves? Well, who knows? I think they will. I think they will be able. Of course, there are lots of little parrots in Mendoza. So they're going to find a lot of friends and family.
Well, that's reassuring.
Yes, and they will be free.
Well, it's interesting because the story ends without telling us what happens to the parrots. The parrots are loose and we never see them again, so we don't actually know if they're okay or not. But I'm glad you think that they are.
I think they are, yes, but we really don't know. The book is ambiguous if Jordanita was right or wrong, and the adults are not sure about if it's okay or not. They don't know if she should be punished for what she had done. I think maybe that's what I really want when people read my books, to make themselves questions, because I don't have the answers. I have a lot of questions, and I think good literature is about questions and not about answers.
And that's perfect for Passover, to have lots of questions.
Yes.
What is your favorite thing about Passover?
I just love Passover. My favorite thing is the way the whole Jewish people, everyone, could find inside the guts to leave Egypt and go into the desert, who knows where, just to be free. That's really courageous. And I absolutely admire that decision.
I love that. Thank you. The family in the book has many pets. They have dogs, a cat, turtles, the parrots, and Jordanita's family only has tropical fish. That's why she's so excited to go to visit her relatives who have so many fun pets. Did you grow up with many pets, or do you have any pets now?
No, I wanted them. But I only had tortoise, which I couldn't have today because it's forbidden. You can't buy a tortoise. You can adopt a tortoise, but you have to have a garden and green and a lot of things that I do not have because I live in an apartment. So I couldn't have today a tortoise. But when I was little, yes, I had a tortoise and a caged bird, a canary, and that was all. I wanted a cat or a dog.
So in the book, you fulfilled that wish.
Yes. And when my girls were little, we had 2 cats, not at the same time, first one and then the other one. And we had tortoises too.
What do you think of the art by Ángeles Ruiz? Do you have a favorite illustration?
It's lovely. I really love the Aunt Veronica, with all that black hair all over. It's really lovely. That character is my favorite.
Yeah, everybody's hair has a life of its own in these illustrations.
Mm-hmm, that's true, yes.
Yeah, especially Papa and the uncle. I'll tell you, my favorite is the page where they're getting ready for the Seder.
Uh-huh.
And Papa and Uncle Ariel are roasting meat on the grill. Mama and Aunt Veronica are making knedlach.
Yes.
I just like how they look so excited to see each other, just like when you go on a visit that you haven't seen people in a long time, and you're so thrilled to be together. They just look so happy and affectionate. I really love that illustration.
And I love the illustration where the children are playing with the hose, water sparkling all over.
With their bathing suits in the yard.
In the yard, yes.
Yeah, it has a lot of very realistic touches.
Mm-hmm.
The book was also released in the U.S. in Spanish as La Gran Sorpresa de Pesach. Did you write the book originally in Spanish or in English?
Oh, I wrote it in Spanish, of course. It was translated.
I didn't see a translator's name on the English edition that I read.
Yes, somebody did. I don't know who it is.
Maybe it's because it's a review copy. Maybe the final copy will say. But that's interesting that it didn't have the name on it. Will you be publishing more books in English, or do you have other Jewish children's books that can be translated?
This is my first Jewish children's book, except for a book about the wise men of Helem, which I think is not only a children's book, children and adults.
This children's book demonstrates just one of your many talents. You have published poetry, drama, novels, children's books, film scripts, short stories, and microfiction. And I'm especially intrigued by that last one. Can you explain what microfiction is?
Yes, I love microfiction. In Spain, they call me the queen of the microfiction.
Oh, mazel tov.
Yes. In English, I think today it's called flash fiction. You have a very, very famous author who writes flash fiction, Lydia Davis. She had a Pulitzer Prize.
Okay, so explain what it is.
It's very simple. It's just very short stories. One page is the maximum, about 300 words, and there is no minimum. There is even one flash story by Guillermo Samperio. He was a good friend, Mexican author, called The Ghost. And the rest of the page is blank.
Oh, wow.
White. Yes, there's the ghost.
Amazing. So what do you like about that type of writing?
Well, I like everything. I think I love to express the maximum possible meaning in the minimum amount of words. I think that texts like The Ghost are only games. I expect more from literature, and I hope my own microfictions are best at one.
Could you tell us a little bit about what it's like to be Jewish in Argentina?
We have a very large Jewish community in Argentina, the largest in Latin America, I think. We are very few if we compare with the Jews in the United States, but we are quite a lot comparing to the rest of the continent. I feel we don't have too much anti-Semitism in Argentina. I went to a public school, I went to a public high school, I went to public university, and I really never felt any kind of discrimination because of being a Jew. One of my daughters, she's really committed with the community, and she came to me the other day and she said, "Mom, I think we have a very good thing about Argentina, because I was wearing today a t-shirt that said, I love Israel, the whole day from morning to night, and I took a bus on the subway and I walked in the streets and nobody said nothing about it." So this is a good thing about Argentina.
Yeah, that's amazing, because right now in the United States, if you wore a shirt like that all day, you would definitely get some pushback.
Yes, and it's happening in Europe too.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, we do have anti-Semitism, just like in every other place. There's a saying, what is a Jew? A Jew is someone that is a little bit less anti-Semitic than all the rest.
Oh my goodness. It's Tikkun Olam time. What action would you like to call listeners to take to help heal the world?
If someone wants to support an institution, I recommend Magen David Adom, which is the Israeli Red Cross. Magen David Adom. I think it's very important that when people think of improving the world for the whole humanity, they shouldn't forget the people who are close to them. Because being gentle and good and kind to your friends and family, that's tikkun olam too.
Okay, 2 good recommendations. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What are you working on next?
Children books, I think. I wrote 6 adult novels, and I would like to write another one. But I'm not sure I'll be able to do it because I'm going to be 75 years old in April.
Oh, mazel tov.
Yes, thank you. But it's not my best creative time.
Where can listeners learn more about your work?
I do have a website, yes, anamariashua.com.ar.
For Argentina.
AR for Argentina, yes.
Is there anything else that you want to talk about that I haven't thought to ask you?
Well, maybe I could talk a little bit about how I never had a Jewish education when I was a child because my father was strongly atheist. He was against religion in a very, very strong way. My grandparents on my father's side, they were religious. But my father, he was absolutely against religion. And he didn't want daughters to learn anything about the Jewish tradition because he was afraid that could be, like a base to drag them into religion. So we don't have absolutely no Jewish education. My whole Jewish education when I was a child was the picture, the 10 Commandments with Charlton Heston.
Oh, my goodness.
It took me many years. One of my grandfathers is called Moshe. Moshe was from Poland. The other one was from Lebanon, and he was called Moses. And it took me many, many years. I discovered they were both called Moses. Moshe and Musa, they were so different from me.
Ana María Shua, thank you so much for speaking with me, and happy Passover.
Thank you, and happy Passover for you.
Hi, my name is Richard Ho. I'm the author of A Flame Burns On.
Hi, my name is Allison Goldberg. I'm the author of The Remembering Candle. We'll be joining you soon on the Book of Life podcast.
We'd like to dedicate our episode to anybody who's celebrating the memory of a loved one, or to any parents or educators who are trying to help a child through a loss.
If you are remembering someone, we hope your memories bring you comfort. May their memory be a blessing.
Say hi to Heidi at 561-206-2473 or bookoflifepodcast@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. Subscribe for free to bookoflifepodcast.substack.com to get show notes, transcripts, Jewish Kidlit news, and calls to action right in your inbox. If you'd like to receive the bonus Share Your Shelf segments, you can upgrade to a paid subscription. The Book of Life is also on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and our 20-year back catalog is online at bookoflifepodcast.com. Want to read the books featured on the show? Buy them through bookshop.org/shop/bookoflife to support the podcast and independent bookstores at the same time. The Book of Life is sponsored by the Association of Jewish Libraries, the leading authority on Judaic librarianship. Learn more at jewishlibraries.org. Additional support comes from Congregation B'nai Israel of Boca Raton, Florida at cbiboca.org. AJL also sponsors our sister podcast, Nice Jewish Books, a show about Jewish fiction for adults. Stick around past these credits and you might hear a promo for the latest episode of Nice Jewish Books. Our theme music is provided by the Freilachmakers Klezmer String Band. Thanks for listening, and happy reading!